Welcome to Take a Break, Take a Breath for Monday, May 4th. Each day I invite you to pause in all of the things that are keeping you so very busy and stressed these days, and to take a breath and to center yourself in God. So I invite you to go and find a place where you are able to be quiet and where you can close the door and relax. I've been working my way through the Psalms with you, and each day I pick a verse from a psalm as we work through them in order. Today is Psalm 15, and the psalm starts out, "Who can abide in the house of the Lord? Who can dwell on the mountain of the Lord?" And then it goes into describing the ways in which people get abused and are taken advantage of, and the injustices in our world, and suggests that that's not who can abide in God's presence. I don't want to use that text to pass judgment on other people. I do want to use that text, however, to suggest that dwelling in the house of God is something that we all desire, to abide in God's presence, and that when we abide in God's presence, we lift up and are concerned for those who are hitting hard and difficult times in their lives. So go to that place that is quiet and close the door and sit down in a chair and get comfortable. Feel the strength and support of that chair on the back of your legs and on your back, and if it has arms, under your arms, to feel how you can rest your arms on that chair, and that you can rest fully and completely in the support of that chair. And take in a nice deep breath. And as you breathe in the breath of God, the breath of life. And as you breathe out all that separates you from God. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in the breath of life, and breathe out all that separates you from God. And then imagine that God's peace is coming to you, not only through the breaths you take, but also in the presence of God's Spirit. And imagine that God's Spirit washes over you like warm water. Perhaps let it start from the top of your head. And close your eyes and imagine that water running down over your head and down onto your face, and relaxing your brow and your jaw and bringing you peace. And feel that water and the peace of God as it comes to your neck. And let the tensions in your neck melt away. And then feel it as it moves down your arms to your hands, and open your hands, and if you wish, turn them palms up to receive God's peace and presence. And in this time, feel the relaxation that comes from being in God's peace and presence. Imagine that water running down your back and down the front of your body. And as it does so, feel the peace and let the tensions in those muscles just melt away. And you're calm and peaceful and relaxed in the presence of God. And then let it move to your calves, your hips and your calves and your thighs and your ankles peace of God dwells with you. And as it does so, as the peace of God dwells with you, the tensions in your legs can be released and is released. Breathe in and breathe out. And imagine that you are going up a hill in your mind's eye. It is a holy hill, what some call a thin space, a space where the thickness between God's presence and the rest of the world is very thin, where you are close to God. And on the top of this hill is a tent. What color's the tent? Can you feel the breeze? What do you smell? What do you hear? And out of the tent, as you approach it, comes someone who represents God for you. It could be Jesus. It could be a messenger of God. It could be a representation of God for you, but it is God's presence for you. This representation, this person, pulls up a couple of chairs and invites you to sit. God has been watching over all that is going on in the world, the places where people are being treated unjustly, the places where people are hungry or homeless or struggling, and God comments about all of those things. And then God says to you, what's on your mind? Let's talk. I'll be quiet for a few minutes while the two of you talk. So maybe my dog Harvey is bringing the time to talk to an end. And the two of you say goodbye. If it's not enough time, just press pause. And after you say goodbye, and begin to walk away from the tent, allow that image to fade and picture the room where you are. And when you are ready, open your eyes. Well, that's Take a break, take a breath for Monday, May 4th. I hope that this time helps you to find a little respite in the middle of your day, to center yourself in God who created you and knows you and loves you. If you have feedback for me, send it to rick@prospectchurch.org. I always appreciate feedback. See you next time.